sliceofscifi.com.
Hey Slicers, it's Brian, and I'm sitting here with Jamie Gray Hyder, and most of you may recognize her as Danielle from the Emmy Award-winning series True Blood. Jamie, you are living everyone's dream of becoming a Hollywood actress. How did you get to be where you are today?
It's definitely not easy. I've done acting my entire life. I did a lot of stage growing up, and then went to college for acting, got my degree, and went back to DC to do theater, and came out here to do film and television about a year later after graduating. And I've been here for 4 years now. I've done probably around 900 auditions in 4 years.
Wow.
But as you can see, it does pay off eventually. You know, if it's what you want to do, if it's really what you work hardest at, then you know, you can have success. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted, but it is possible if you work hard. So.
Do you like film and television better than stage theater, or?
I like all of it. They're so different. Obviously, you get the rush from the stage, you know, when you're in front of a live audience and you know you got to nail it right then and there. There is such cool adrenaline that comes with performing live. But then with film and television, you have a little bit more freedom to try different things, and you know, you're doing multiple takes of one scene, so you can try different ideas and really figure out what works. And you're able just to, you know, go so many different places and experience, you know, learn so many different skills. Yeah. It's amazing what all goes into film and television, but I definitely have appreciation for both.
I've been here for 4 months now, and I've seen some crazy stuff in Hollywood. What is the craziest thing you've seen since being out here?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't even know if I could pinpoint one.
Just everything.
My friends
in
and I have
general.
always dubbed LA just the circus, because you never know what's going to happen. You're driving down the street and someone just stands in the middle of the road and stares at you for a while and then just gets out of the way and walks off, you know, and you're not really sure what to do about it, drive around them, or, you know, just all the different characters and crazies. There's just such extreme personalities out here that can be a good thing and a bad thing. But you definitely get a whole spectrum of different people and personality types.
Everywhere.
Yes, absolutely.
You're originally from the East Coast, moved to the West Coast.
Yes.
As am I, and I know that everything is different out here. So how do you like it? Do you like the East Coast better or the West Coast?
I'm from the DC area, and moving to LA has been very different, but also very similar. I've always said they're both cities of shameless self-promotion. So that's always hysterical to be around. I'm really happy to have the foundation that I have from the East Coast, but to live here now, the food, the weather, you know, business-wise, it's just so much more appropriate for me to be here. You know, I didn't move across the country from all my friends and family because it was the easy thing. I did it because it was what I had to do if I really wanted to make a career out of acting and to be in the entertainment industry. So I've really enjoyed it. I've had a great time and enjoyed meeting all the new people. And
I absolutely love it out here.
Do you?
Mostly the weather, yeah, definitely. I hate the cold so much. I'm dreading going home for Thanksgiving.
I know, the holidays are going to be rough for the weather, but
Absolutely. So when do you start shooting again for True Blood?
we'll be starting to shoot again in January.
Okay, so you're going to be home for the whole month of December, or?
I'll be home for a few weeks in December. We do a big Christmas party at my parents' house, so we'll be there celebrating. I'm going to spend New Year's there as well with some friends, and then I'll be back in time to get to work.
You play a werewolf on True Blood.
I do.
So do you ever find yourself researching the supernatural?
Absolutely. When I first, before I first started filming, you know, you just kind of study the werewolf, its history, the different components that have been given to it over time as a character and then as an animal and as a creature, you know, and try and figure out which components of the actual werewolf you're bringing in and which components of, you know, actual human character you're bringing in. And, you know, it's kind of about finding that balance or imbalance at different times when actually playing the character. So there is some studying going into it just to really understand the werewolf and all of their natural instincts and then figure out a way to make that kind of human as well.
How much of yourself is in the character, Danielle?
Oh, I'd say a lot. I mean, as far as being an all or nothing kind of person, you know, she makes very strong decisions and is not afraid to step up in a group, and I think I'm very similar to that. I don't know that I would have agreed with all of her decisions this season, but we're both very passionate people and very, you know, have a lot of life So that's where we, I would say, are similar.
So on set, is there any competition behind the scenes between the vampires and the werewolves?
Well, usually I shoot with mostly werewolves. The show is very compartmentalized, so I'm typically shooting with my species most of the time. We did get a chance to shoot with Russell and with Steve Newland, and those characters were really fun. I mean, behind the scenes, it's like one big happy family. You know, it's
awesome.
You know, we save all the conflict for when the cameras are rolling, but we all get along pretty well.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So you've been here for 4 years. How long did it take you before you finally got a steady job?
Well, I don't think I still have a completely steady job. Nothing's ever solidified in this town. Like I said, I've been here for 4 years, and I started working as soon as I got here, as far as getting on the street and auditioning and trying to meet as many people as possible and do as many workshops and as many activities as I could to keep myself active in the industry. You know, like I already said, I did so many auditions, and you know, every group or so you'll book something. True Blood has definitely been the biggest and most rewarding thing I've done so far, and it's been really nice to be able to step onto a set where you've worked with all those people before, and you know, the cast and the crew, versus jumping from job to job all the time. So I was here probably about 3 years, and then I booked this role on True Blood. So that has been the most steady work that I've had, but it's been the most rewarding. You know, it's really great set to be a part of. Everyone are just consummate professionals, but also have a really good time, and it's been a really great experience.
That must have been a lot of heartbreaks, going through so many auditions.
You know,
how do you keep yourself going? Like,
you just got to really understand how the business works. You cannot take things personally, because there's no way you're going to be right for everything. And there's so much thought and planning and intention, everything that's gone behind every project, that to assume the reason you didn't get a job is because you're not good enough is just really limiting yourself on all the other factors that go into it. You know, you could be the best actor in the room, but if you don't look the part, or if you're not exactly what they're looking for, you're not going to get it. So you just have to know that getting called back for the same casting directors, or getting callbacks after your auditions, those are the things that should be rewarding and telling you that what's within your control, you're doing well. Because you cannot control what all the directors, writers, producers, everybody else who's putting their opinions in, you know, they all have different things they're looking for. And so you just cannot take it personally. You have to know that you want it to represent you as well as they want you to represent whatever they're trying to go for. And so you just have to take each one in stride and learn from every audition and be grateful. In LA, getting an audition is a huge step, because there's technically thousands of people usually who've been submitted even to audition. So being awarded the audition is something to be, you know, proud of as well. And you just, like I said, you just can't take it personally, because you have no idea why they didn't pick you. Right. And a lot of times, you know, it wouldn't have been within your control anyway, so you just go in and do what you do best, and you gotta have faith in that, otherwise you won't you won't last very long.
So what advice do you have to give to new people who just got out here, like myself?
You know, it takes time. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it happens after 3 years, sometimes it happens after 10 years. You have to know that this is really what you want to do in order to put up with all the waiting and the not knowing. And you just got to put work into it. It's just like anything else. Hard work, you know, will pay off in the end. And if you're out here and you want to pursue acting or producing or directing or anything in the industry, it's just about constantly applying yourself, making your own material. That's huge. With the internet these days, if you can produce your own stuff and put it out there, you have access to millions and millions of people online.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that doesn't cost you anything to put it on there, you know, maybe the equipment rental and things like that. But you really just have to make your own work, be perseverant, and, you know, remember people's names, little things like that. If you meet somebody at a casting workshop, remember their name, so next time you go into audition for them, you can say hi,
be
you know.
Personable,
and, yeah, and just being grateful for everything. People can tell if you have a good or bad attitude. So if you have a bad attitude about it, no one's going to want to work with you no matter how good you are. So I would just say hard work and having a great attitude about it, and knowing it's really, really, really what you want to do are the things that will help you to really continue through the hard times.
And where do you see yourself 4 years from now in this industry?
Well, hopefully just, you know, continuing to progress with work. You know, if I could still be here in Los Angeles working as often as I do now, and continuing just to be a part of really cool projects and working with great people, I think that I would really be pleased with where I am. And I just hope that both working with True Blood and taking on new projects and everything, that 4 years from now I'll still be here grinding and working
Absolutely.
hard.
What genre is your favorite? Do you like the supernatural? Do you see yourself more as like a comedian or drama?
Well, growing up, I was always a huge goofball, so I hope at some point I'll be able to put some comedy chops to work. I'm really enjoying working on True Blood right now. We just have the opportunity to see how so many different special effects work and stunts, and we're working with crazy animals with the hybrid wolves on set. I think that with True Blood, I'm really getting an opportunity to see so much more than I would maybe on more straight human-related drama. You know, we really get to push the envelope in several directions, especially it being HBO. They're really open to wherever the show wants to take it, so we're very lucky to have that flexibility.
Yeah, they have very cool special effects in all their episodes.
Yes, it's awesome.
So we have a new season of True Blood coming up. What can we expect to see from Danielle in this new season?
Oh, I wish I knew. We're kept in the dark as long as we can be, pretty much. I imagine a lot's going to happen with the vampires. You know, we've really led up with the vampires versus human conflict. So I'm really interested to see how the rest of this, you know, the other supernatural species, you know, where they side and all of that, because I think they're culminating to a big battle just based on how the end of season 5 was. So I'm really excited as a fan and as an actor on the show to see where they're going to take it, because it's just culminating to a lot of big things, and it's going to be interesting to see which direction my character and the werewolves go, and versus the other shifters and the vampires. And I think every season we up the ante a little bit, and I think it's going to continue happening this season.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much for sitting down with us. This has been awesome, and we are really looking forward to the new season of True Blood. And I'm Brian for another Slice of Sci-Fi special report. I'll catch you guys later.
SliceofSciFi.com